everybody, and welcome to another FGs and Threes interview. Today we have 2021 draft prospect Jeremy Bell with us. So, Jeremy, thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So, we're going to start way back at the beginning. You were born in Ackworth, Georgia, and you spent most of your childhood there. What was it like growing up in Georgia? What was it like growing up?
It was nice. Ackworth is a really nice area. Provides a lot from the academics and athletic side. You know, as a kid when you're growing up, good sports and all different aspects of it, and then also good education. And then with my parents being pastors, I was able to get really connected in the community from a religious standpoint as well.
So you were raised in Ackworth. You played football for North Cobb High School, and once out of high school, you took your talents to a private college, Lenoir-Rhyne University in North Carolina. What were some of the big differences that you saw between high school football and college ball?
I think first and foremost was probably the speed of the game. They say the game is faster each level you go up to, and you can definitely see the transition as soon as I got there my freshman year. And then just the schemes, the defense, we started running more complex schemes that you didn't run in high school. So those were some of the big transitions. And of course, just, a better group of athletes collectively as a whole.
So I saw that during your time at Lenoir, you had a redshirt freshman year, and then second year you came upon an injury. And then after that, you took some time off after the game. What was that? Like, what was going through your head during that time?
When I had left school, I was out of school for a couple of years, and for me, that was just an opportunity to get my life back in order. I had a couple of things that I needed to personally work on, develop myself as a man, and I was able to take that time and really connect with God on a deeper level, but also just find out exactly who I wanted to be. So when I had another opportunity to get back in school and play ball again, I could make the most of it.
And then I know after the couple years that you took off, you decided to return as a sophomore to the University of Charleston. What was different from your experience at Lenoir and then at Charleston? Like your first year?
First and foremost, my maturity level, at that time I was more focused. When I got to the University of Charleston, I knew what I was there for, what I wanted to focus on, and what I wanted to accomplish. They were both really good schools, and they both gave me great opportunities to pursue academics and athletics. So I was grateful to both schools to have that opportunity. And when I got to Charleston, I was just able to make the most of it and, achieve everything that I wanted to achieve coming out of high school.
So in your first year as a Golden Eagle, you appeared in 7 games out of the 11, and you recorded 3 tackles and a fumble, a very modest going right back into the game. What was it like readjusting back to the field after such a long break of not playing organized football?
That was truly, it's a unique feeling coming back to something. I spent a couple of years, just dreaming about the opportunity to be able to play again. And so actually having it and being able to, put a jersey on and compete, it was, the best feeling in the world. And I took advantage of every opportunity I had.
So your first season was a little lower on the radar, but your second season you came in and you took full opportunity of it. You came in, you recorded 36 tackles on the season, and you actually had a very impressive 2-interception game against a D1 college. What about that career game do you hope will translate into the NFL and tell NFL scouts?
As a Division II kid, you're looking for every opportunity to show that you can play at the highest level. And for me, I was fortunate, my team, all of us were fortunate to be able to play against the Division I schools. So I was able to have that one opportunity to show that I can compete at a higher level, even though I'm from a smaller school. So that was a huge opportunity I was blessed with, and just the whole team was blessed with.
And so you had a good junior season. I know you were definitely thinking about building upon that for your senior year. And then 2020 hit. As an athlete myself, I was kind of struck hard from it. How did you go through the process, and how did you better yourself throughout 2020 with all the situations going on?
It was definitely frustrating for all of my teammates and myself, especially as knowing that we had such a good team and we were really looking forward to that season because we really felt like we had all the components that we needed to make a deep run into the playoffs. So it was definitely frustrating, but I stayed focused and continued to train every day. And we basically still had practices just without games. So I took every opportunity to continue to master my craft and control the things that I can't control. And that's just me becoming a better player on and off the field.
After 2020, with all of its hardships and just beating everybody down, right? Like throughout the entire year, 2021 entered, and you got an invite to the FBS All-American Tropical Bowl in Orlando in mid-January, where you actually got to show off a lot of your talents to some NFL scouts and NFL coaches. Can you tell us a little bit more about that experience playing in the Tropical Bowl?
That was truly a blessing. The staff there, they hosted an amazing event for those 3 days that we were out there. They gave us an opportunity, be in front of the scouts every day. But for me specifically, not having a season, it was huge that I was able to show the improvements that I made from my 2019 season to now. And being able to compete against some of those Division I kids on a regular basis throughout practice, whether it was 7-on-7 team, 1-on-1s, and show that I belong there was very important for me when it comes to showing why I deserve to be a player in the NFL.
So after the Tropical Bowl game, you got plenty of interviews, unlike the aftermath, like when everybody was like hanging out after the game. You got plenty of interviews from different coaches and everything, including the Dolphins, which is actually your father's favorite team, as I learned. What was it like finally being able to hear from some NFL scouts, and what were some of the big questions that they asked you?
That was just really a very humbling experience, to be able to be pulled aside and they know your name and they're talking with you and just trying to get a feel for you. And being my dad's favorite team, made the moment even more special because I know that's the team that he's loved since he was a kid. So, it was huge. And I didn't get any too tricky questions. For the most part, they kind of asked just a lot, trying to get to know me and my learning type and, get an understanding of my background and my family and where I came from, and just my whole story up till now, so they can really get a feel for who Jeremy Bell is.
And I know another way to impress the scouts is indeed through the pro day. And I know you recently had your pro day. I think it was this past weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Am I correct on that?
Yeah. Saturday.
Yeah. So I just want to read some of the numbers from that day. 40 time was a 4.38. Burt was a 38 inch. Broad jump was a 10.8. The bench, which I thought was the most impressive, at 20. And then the 20-yard shuttle at 4.03. Some pretty fun stats right there.
Yeah, it was definitely a good day out there for sure. I was very pleased with the body of work they had put together.
So I actually took the liberty to I looked up a couple past draft prospects, and I compared their stats a little bit to yours. I actually saw last year's first round pick, CJ Henderson, had a 4.3930 and also a 20 bench. He had J.R. Alexander from a couple of years ago with a 4.38, same 40 as you, and a very similar broad jump. How do you feel about some of those comparisons? And aside from the stats, who do you think your NFL comparison is?
I think it's great, being able to show my numbers when you look at those things and show that they match up with some of the promising players in the league, whether they're already top players or players that are upcoming that people are watching out for, is huge for me, just because now you have somebody to kind of relate me to moving forward. Personally, when it comes to how I try to play the game, I try to model my game a lot after Stephon Gilmore from the patience standpoint. When you watch his film, you watch how patient he is, whether it's at the line of scrimmage or an off man, and being able to diagnose a lot of the route concepts. That's one thing that I think shows on my film. And so that's one of the players I try to model my game after a lot.
That was actually one of my questions, because I read that you were a big Pats fan. So am I. I'm also a huge Pats fan, born and raised in New England. I was just going to ask you, Stephon Gilmore, I've seen that you've modeled your game quite a bit after him. And it was, what do you try to do to replicate his play style?
I think a lot of it comes from just being able to have a lot of film study because when I played a lot of my season, I played in the field. And so I'm always getting 2 and 3 wide receivers to my side. So really being able to study what receivers want to do out of formations and then have a great understanding of what we want to run defensively so I can see how everything should play out from whether it's me, the safety, the linebacker, and see how all the routes should line up based off what coverage we're in so I can know how to best help my team.
Mm-hmm. So, how well do you think your stats from the pro day, how well do you think they'll persuade scouts to consider you for their team?
I look at those numbers and you look at all the other numbers from a lot of the corners that performed. I think the RAS right now has me ranked in the top 10 at 7 for overall pro day numbers. And I think the only question that you can bring up on me is that I played Division II football because I checked the boxes everywhere else.
Yeah, you definitely do. Aside from the stats, what are some of the things that you do that contribute to the team on and off the field?
On the field, I think, I provide versatility. So you can put me in multiple positions in the secondary, but I'm also a big advocate for special teams. I love special teams. So that's something else that you get out of me that enjoys being on all the special team units because I know how important they are to team success. And then also you're just getting a good character in the locker room, somebody that you can depend on that's not going to be in any type of trouble, but it's going to help bring the team together. And off the field, you're getting somebody that is passionate about the community and will do things to help, less fortunate or whatever it is to put out a good name for our program and also help just anybody that I can.
Because I've seen that you do a lot of work, a lot of community work for your church and your local volunteer sites. And what you do really is incredible. You do a lot of great stuff for the community, and it's definitely appreciated by many.
Thank you.
So back to the Pats real quick. I sent you a little photo earlier. I did a little digging and found a photo from around 2014, where it was you and Cam Newton after you won a tournament. What was that experience like?
That was fun. That was I want to say that might have been our first year doing the 7-on-7 tournament, the Camden 7-on-7 tournament, and we had a good team that year, and we hosted it at our school, which was even more fun. And we just battled through every single game. And I was playing wide receiver at the time, and I think I want to say in that game I caught a touchdown pass and had a couple other catches during that tournament specifically. So it was a fun moment, and to be able to take a picture with Cam Newton at the time. Pretty huge, and just be able to say, I got to stand next to Cam and all those different things. So it was definitely a fun opportunity for myself and all the other players that got a chance to play in that tournament.
Now that he's on the Pats and you're a Pats fan, does that memory grow a little fonder now that you know that he's playing for your team?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like, hey, I got to hang out with him one day, and now he's playing for my favorite team. So that was pretty cool.
Now, I know you've been on plenty of teams, plenty of colleges. Who do you think out of all your teammates that you've ever been with impacted you or just like helped you through the game the most?
Out of all my teammates?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I've had a lot of good teammates, and especially at the University of Charleston specifically, I spent a lot more time there. And there was a lot of players that I want to just take you under their wings. So I think one of the players that I liked was John Kaminsky, who got drafted by the Falcons. What was that, 2 years ago? He was one of the first people that I connected with when I got there at the University of Charleston. And he just kind of, just told me a lot more about the program and kind of helped me get my feet wet and feel acclimated. So I was able to move forward easy.
So we have a couple of fun questions to sort of end stuff off, and then we have a big one at the end.
Okay.
So whenever you go to practices or workouts, everybody has their own like a little playlist of what they like to listen to. What are some of the songs that are featured on your go-to playlist?
Honestly, I'm one of the people that rotates every day, just depending on the mood. I can sometimes be in a pop mood and want to listen to a lot of pop music. And then next day I might want to just listen to nothing but gospel tunes. And then every now and then I might just listen to a little R&B before I go. So it just really depends on whatever the mood is that morning. I'll just throw it on shuffle and let it flow.
Whatever really uplifts you at the time is something that'll get you going.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I know as an athlete, we all like our cheat days, especially since I'm a lineman. I have a couple more cheat days. What's your go-to cheat day like meal?
Oh, it's definitely gonna be wings and fries.
You've gotten that one a lot. Any certain kind of wing?
I like the Thai chili wings. And if I'm really being picky, I like all flats.
All flats. All right, bold.
Flats are definitely good.
So what's one play that you see an offense setting up for, and you just see it and you know that you have a great chance at picking them off or getting a big play?
One play that I see them setting up a lot. I think one of the things that we ran or that I saw schools run a lot against us was that smash concept. And, we used to sometimes run it out of cover 2, but disguise it so I could really sell them on, whether I want to sell them on throwing that corner route or sell them on throwing that underneath and jump it a lot. So that's one of the plays I think that, which is ran in our conference, that we did a good job at disguising to be able to make plays on.
So you're a Pats fan and your dad is a Dolphins fan. How was that rift growing up, being two fans of two different AFC East teams?
It was funny because a lot of the time was, spent with the Patriots dominating the whole conference or division. So it wasn't really a lot of trash talking that could go on from his side, but we still just enjoyed the rivalry and watch all the games together. So it was fun.
Yeah, because I know the Patriots have their almost yearly loss to the Dolphins at home, so I'm sure he got to gloat a little bit every now and then.
Oh, definitely. He looks forward to that game every year. That was the one. It was always toward the end of the year, so that he'd have the final bragging rights before. So
it's always like nice saved right for the end.
Exactly.
Well, the 1 year a couple years ago, we kind of helped Kansas City get the 1 seed. So probably we're not happy about that, were you?
I was not, man. I was sitting there like, how did we let that happen? And my dad, he was so hyped up, and he was like, I told you. But they got an upcoming team now, so he's fired up about
the East is really, the AFC East is really firing up. They got 3 playoff teams right now, and it's looking dangerous up there. What is one of your what is I know getting any chance in the NFL is going to be great, but what is one team that you would absolutely love to get a chance to play for, or a player that you'd love to get a chance to play with?
Being a Patriots fan, I feel like I would love to play for the Patriots because that was just the team I grew up supporting as a kid. Not to mention the teammate of mine, Kyle Duggar, was there when I was there, so that'd be cool to reconnect with a former teammate. And then, outside of that, it'd be cool to play for the Bucs, play with Tom Brady because he's the GOAT. So it's cool to see him in action and be on the same team as him.
Aside from the Patriots, what do you think is one of the most up-and-coming teams coming into the 2021 season?
Probably the Arizona Cardinals. I think they're young, but they're putting together.
I like you. It's a good pick. It's a great pick. To end it all off, I want you to give your best pitch to NFL teams and NFL and CFL teams. What is, in like a short paragraph, give your best and final pitch to any NFL teams or CFL teams watching, and any scouts and coaches watching?
Well, you're looking for a player that is going to buy into the program, and regardless of what's going on, is never going to be deterred away from winning and persevering the storm, which you've seen with me being out of school for a couple of years. So you need those type of players on your roster, and I provide that along with special teams help and multiple position versatility in the secondary, which allows you to keep me on the field all 3 downs. And that's not something that you can find in every single defensive back.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. Thank you for joining us, Jeremy. We really appreciate it. we're going to be keeping up with your story on Twitter and Instagram. Whenever something big about you breaks, we'll make sure we follow you and keep everybody up to date on you. And thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, gentlemen. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.